Very excitingly, I've been given the opportunity to read through the new Kanata collection of chapbooks from Strangers Press ahead of publication day. These are 5 Japanese translated short stories, or in some cases it's a couple of short stories in one chapbook. I am reading book 2, which is 2 stories in one chapbook. This is Komachi and Pictures of Her. These ones do not have a simple narrative structure. So if that's something you're looking for, these are probably not for you. I loved them. These were meditating on memory and storytelling. In the first one, Komachi, we are following essentially a couple who live across the street from an older lady who has lost her husband. And she sits in her doorway or hallway and she carries out these somewhat performances, somewhat oral storytelling sessions in which she's relaying memories of her husband. But what we're told is these are really fragmentary. When you really think about the stories that she's telling, they don't make any sense. There's no real narrative structure, but the details are so rich that actually it's an art in itself, and the man and his wife often discuss the literary and artistic merits of what she's doing. You yourself as the reader are then forced to look at the story that you've just read and think, actually, this also is fragmentary. It doesn't have a simple narrative structure. What we've honed in on are the detail and not the events that are happening around us. In the second story, we almost flip that on its head and we look at the ways in which memory can fail us. We are following a man who is trying to recount the story of a trip he took with his wife 10 years previously. He's since separated from that wife, and so he no longer can converse with her. And he talks about how when they're together discussing the memory, it comes together to form almost a new memory of their intertwined perceptions of the events that happened, but he no longer has access to that. He gets upset when he can't remember the names of the dogs or the breeds of the dogs where they stayed. And he considers the fact that through looking at the photographs and his own journal entries from that trip, all he can do is remember the facial expressions that his wife pulled in those photographs. He can't remember actual facial expressions in the moment. He can't remember the things she said unless he wrote down what she said. Again, there's no real forceful narrative. It is very thematic, and I just love these ones. I think of the 2 that I've read so far from this collection, this is my favourite one. Stick around if you want to hear my reviews of the next 3 as well.